that's a big thing. I'm glad you say that because I got so angry at myself because I there's two things. So I wanted to approach a lot of people that I've met online. One of the first people I actually played with MF Vince. He's not MF anymore, but Vince.
Yeah.
I played with him, and I just got angry at myself for not going up to myself and going, "Hey man, how you doing?" and like having a chat with him because I wanted to talk with him because I play with him, I got along with him, and
Yeah.
then kind of the juxtaposition is that I had a huge conversation with Marcus on Loser Fruit stream in front of like people that are watching, and I was kept my cool, and so I was like, I had a good chat with Marcus. Why couldn't I chat with Vince? And why didn't I go talk to you and talk to Thriller and stuff? So I mean, that's who I am. Is I'm a chatty person. So I was really annoyed with myself that I didn't come up and say, "Hey man, I'm this. You probably don't know me, but I'm friends with Atari, whatever," and have a chat with you. I sat in front of you. I did sort of engage in a conversation with you and turned around and had a chat when you were sitting next to Atari, but not as much as who I am as a person. Like I said, I'm talking like you said. Who you are right now and how you're talking is how you are as a person, general. And I think that's the same for myself. So I felt kind of silly by not being who I was at AO. I thought I should have, been who I am and kind of just get along with people. Um,
Yeah, it is hard, right? Like it's you talking to a stranger. Many people would do that. Go up to their stream, say, "Hey, I'm blah. I watch your stream." Because some people that takes a lot of energy to do that, especially if you're introverted or you don't have confidence and stuff like that. And I think that it just a lot of people just need to kind of take a deep breath and just introduce yourself. Don't have to be too full on in front of them and be like, "Oh my god, I'm your big fan," rah, 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 blah blah blah, because that would scare the crap out of anyone.
yeah,
I just think just be very slow in terms of introducing yourself and gauge, like you have to gauge whether it's well received or not, because if it's awkward, you know what, that's okay. Like you will make it awkward if you think it's awkward. So how is it is just be yourself, talk to them, that's it. Give them space. Like everyone's human at the end of the day. Like I just can't imagine having 20,000 people run up to you, "Oh my god, hey, blah blah blah," because for me I'd just be like, "Yeah, I'm out." That's too much. Like I just think timing, getting a sense of like reading the person's, I guess, response also helps. But it comes with a experience, I guess. And each person's different.
yeah. It was really weird to see. Um, so Click Crew was walking around, and it was so this is the day one. So this is the day of the qualifiers. So there wasn't many people that could have access to um, the arena.
Yeah.
Still getting set up, and I saw the Click Crew running around doing what they need to do, and then Lachlan, oh no, sorry, Newsock and Laserbeam got like kind of crowded by a bunch of people wanting photos and autographs, and everyone else like ran away. And I was like, these guys are really good. Like these two are awesome. They engaging with these people that they don't know their names, but they're engaging with people that are like big fans of theirs. And I was like, I even took a couple photos for them, but I felt I wanted to engage with them, but I was worried that it wasn't to do with rejection because they're clearly not going to know who I am. And but I don't want to be a part add to a number of 30, 300 interactions they're going to have that day. I mean, wouldn't have phased them, but you know what I mean. I felt kind of I didn't want to intrude on those guys.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I overthink things sometimes, and when I overthink it, it gets to um like kind of
Yeah.
spoils my
Sometimes
fun.
your mind kind of sometimes is your worst, because it's funny because I think there's a lot of influencers who are like, they're happy to meet the fans,
Yeah,
they're happy to meet people. But I think there's a fine line where it's kind of like you're just running over there and you're like, you kind of just scare them off a little bit. Because if you got a stranger running up to you just like losing their shit, like I just can't imagine how they'd feel. They're probably used to it. Like when I think about it, like they could just walk down and they can't down from A to B without having 20,000 people coming up to them asking for a signature, piece of their hair, blah blah blah. And I just
piece
think
of
that
their hair.
no, that was an over exaggeration part, but like
I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised if that actually has been asked.
because like when I thought about Fresh in AO, this is around the time when he just joined Click, so this is not him now. And he just walked down the stairs and he had so many people running up to him. And poor Fresh was so lost, like, what the hell's going on? And he was just signing because he felt bad. But I just think that people just need to kind of respect the space of the person.
Mm.
Like, if they have a sign, like, I'm sure in the future he'll have, like, a sign up where people can line up and get his signature and stuff like that. But, like, I think about the Misfits, I think about Click Crew, I think about any streamer in Australia, in that for that matter. If they can walk from A to B and be fine, that's, I think, their dream come true. Because, like, the last thing you want is 20,000 people hounding you, can't even breathe. Because I just think, man, I would probably have an anxiety attack if people did that to me. I'd just be like, yo, just leave me alone. I just want my space.
Yeah,
But, I'm sure there'll be a time and a place where they'll have a meet and greet,
that's it.
go ham there, you know what I mean? But, I'm not gonna run up to, like, oh my god, I'm your biggest fan. Like, give me your shoes and, like, go crazy. Like, at the same time, I respect him as a person to be like, I'm sure he'll be like, what the hell? I need to escape. And that's why they have their own separate private areas in certain events.
Yeah,
But but that's one end of the spectrum, right? The other end of the spectrum is, meeting people. Like, I think it's common courtesy to introduce yourself first, right?
yeah,
Like that's just me growing up. Like, hi, I'm blah. I know you from X, Y, and Z. If they don't know me, that's okay. Reintroduce myself. Like, I'm not, like, my engagement is okay. They don't remember me, or they're probably busy. But then if someone responds back and talks to me, then then okay, that to me is then the permission to talk to them, if that makes sense. But sometimes, people might be socially awkward or they're tired. But so I'll try to read, I guess, the situation.
yeah. I mean, that's a big thing is that um, it's I never want to be intrusive of a person's time. I think time is very important. But then again, if I was in their position, I think I'd like to have time for the world for those people. So
Yeah,
it's hard, really hard because we don't know at this stage what it's like. Because if you have 20,000 people running up to you, their autographs, you're happy to sign those people's autographs, but you're maybe going to go help someone, go to do a thing that you've been told that you have to do, a part of your agreement that these guys don't know of. And also, these guys are very young. I mean, these guys, the ones that went up to Lachlan Musil, they're eldest was probably 13 out of the people that approached him. So for me, I didn't want to go, hey, want to have a conversation? Like, as well as you having to sign everyone else's stuff and take photos. Like, 'cause I want to have a conversation with them, but there's also a time and place. But I didn't want to intrude on that on their breathing space. Um, but then again, like if I was in that position, I'd probably not care. I'd probably go, you know what? No, I'll do whatever.
yeah. I'm sure it'll be tiring for them as well. Like, every signing of a shirt that comes with, I guess, their status. And I think with any influencer or streamer, it's going to happen. And it's just, how do you adapt to that life? And they have to, because if you're going to be that big, it's like being a celebrity almost, right? You have to be prepared for these things.
Mm,
Because at the end of the day, like, that's why you're doing what you're doing, is because you're that grinding as well. Um, but it's kind of like a celebrity in real life, right? If you meet a celebrity in real life, you're obviously gonna, like, ask for a photo. Oh my god, that's why person from this industry, and you're like, that's crazy. And you know what? I'm sure they will have time to make for their fans as well. But obviously, also discretion, right? Like, they're also human. They also want to get on with their lives outside the streets. So it's similar to that kind of situation, if anything.
yeah. One thing scares me is that Kevin Hart once had a conversation about I can't remember what he said it, but he basically got off a plane, like a long hour, 10-hour journey, and he went to the toilet, and some dude was started like hounding him whilst he was in the toilet. He was it wasn't a quick session either; it was a long toilet session. So this guy was waiting outside to get a photo, and I cannot imagine the like discomfort Kevin would have had. And you can't reject them either because you're happy to take the photo. It's not there's not a problem to take that photo or speak with him, but it's a time and place, and obviously it's hard. It must when these guys see these celebrities, it must be really hard for them to be like, "No, this is my chance. This is my chance to have a conversation with my idol." Because I'd love to have a conversation with Kevin. And like Fresh. I think Fresh was with Lachlan, and the Click Crew, and then I think Fresh went to the toilet, and was going upstairs to, I think, to the second level of the arena. And then when you were saying they were like having to sign autographs, it's like this is his first time he's interacted with fans, and how the hell would he be feeling that he probably has wet hands because he like just dried them on the like a hand dryer, and now he has to sign people's stuff. Like it'd be so strange for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's only like even this year, and even when he goes to PAX, like I could imagine like the crowd that would follow him as well. Because even PAX last year, I think about Lachlan, Music, and Cray when they were at the HyperX booth. Like especially Lachlan, he had to have like enforcers create a line or a space for him to go in and out of the booth because there was so many people at the booth wanting to play with them, get them to sign stuff, give away, etc. And so PAX is going to be very big this year in terms of the amount of fans that will go there to get a photo with the influencers, get signages, etc. So I think this year would be very different for Fresh because if he does go, I think there's going to be so many people trying to like snipe him in real life.
Yeah. I'm going to PAX this year. This is my first time I'm going to a convention.
Oh,
Um,
excellent.
I assume you're going as you are, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's in Melbourne, so